What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another hardcore episode. It has been ages and ages and ages and ages. So what have I been up to? So if you guys follow me on Twitter and Facebook or watch any of my streams, I was going to say randomly streams, and it was going to come out as like reams. But anyways, if you watch any of those, you know that I have been all over the place recently. Mainly been spending a lot of time at the Nvidia headquarters for their little project thing that they've been doing, the GeForce Garage thing. And even though only 2 episodes of it have come out, they filmed like the first 7 or whatever, and there was a bunch of work in between that needed to get done. But I think I've talked about that on these before. It's been so long since I've played, guys, and then I recorded some stuff and was gonna put it up on YouTube, and then YouTube went through like 2 days of like unable to process things. I don't know what it was all about, but you guys, again, if you follow any of your favorite YouTube personalities or personalities at all that upload to YouTube, you'll know that they were complaining about that a while ago. And this was a while ago. This wasn't any time recently. I think it was like a month or so ago, and it kept rejecting all of my videos that I wanted to upload. And then my computer took a dump. Something happened with the startup. It missed. I don't know what happened, honestly. It was something I've never dealt with, but I turned my computer, or I was using my computer one morning. I turned it off. I went and ran and did some errands, paid some bills, and did adult things. And I came back probably 2 hours later and turned it on, and the startup would basically just like reboot over and over. So it was a boot loop. And if you've overclocked computers, you know that sometimes boot loops happen when where did those pieces of chicken come from? Did I kill a chicken? I don't think so. I need to set up some sort of automated system that takes eggs and then shoots it into a room that'll burn them later on. You know, the cooked chicken thing, where like it's like a little lava slice or whatever, but it doesn't burn baby chickens, but it burns adult chickens. But anyways, yeah, I had a boot loop problem, so I was like, okay, I'll just take my overclock off, which is no big deal. It's just as simple as just reverting to a different profile that you have set in your BIOS, assuming that you made a profile for your default one. If not, you could just hit, I think it's F10 for optimized defaults. But yeah, none of that was working, and that was probably a day and a half of like constant work on that. And then I got it all set back up after taking my computer apart and double checking wires and connections and stuff like that, because yeah, sometimes things, if there's enough tension on them, will eventually like pull off, and they'll only be, man, this looting sword is so awesome. Which, by the way, we're on 1.8. Crazy enough. That's why we don't have the texture pack. In fact, the only texture pack that I have right now is Fax. But it's a 256 one, and it's going to take too long to load, but it's a 3D pack. I don't know how they updated it so quick. This is the day after 1.8 came out that I'm filming this, and I'll probably put this up today, so today, before I take off over to Leanne's. But anyways, I fixed the computer. I had to format because there's, I guess that's not really fixing, that's just like starting over. I had to format to get rid of the error that I was getting. It wasn't, I got it to a point where it was giving me like missing like some sort of DLL file or something like that. And after I formatted and I set my computer up and everything, I was sitting at the desktop, like loading up drivers and, you know, doing the beginning computer thing where you set up your computer with all the programs and stuff that you want. And why is there dirt in there? And then it just shut off. My computer would just shut off, and I was very confused on what was happening. I don't have inventory tweaks anymore. I can't organize, but whatever. That's fine. We'll live. And So I couldn't figure out what was going on, and every time I'd boot up, I'd sit there and try to install some drivers, and it would shut off after like a minute every single time. It was like between 60 seconds to about 3 minutes, somewhere around there, and I was getting really just frustrated. Also, this potion of swiftness came from a witch from the backyard that I killed, which is pretty sweet. In fact, we'll keep that on us because I haven't done anything. Oh, I don't even know if I've shown you guys the remodeled living room or not. I don't know if I did that on the last episode. But yeah, here's the new area, and then we have the dragon egg and the pearl of death, as you guys started calling it, that quote-unquote killed the dragon. But we all know that it was probably my thorns that did it. But even still, nothing new in the backyard. And upstairs, over here, is the enchanting room, which we now have lapis, which is something I'm stoked about. I think it's going to make enchanting, well, it is making enchanting way easier and stuff. And I have fire-resistant potions made, and that's it. Nothing a whole lot going on up here. Not yet, anyways. But yeah, anyways, I was dealing with computer restarts and problems, and I was feeling defeated, mainly because I was trying to get back to you guys to provide content. I couldn't even I didn't lose any of my data, by the way. I was able to salvage everything because I put the OS on a spare SSD that I use for like random games. Like I have like Final Fantasy and some other games on there. Like I think I had Path of Exile also on there. Just games that I don't play often enough, but would still like them to be on an SSD. And so I formatted that and put the OS on there, and then tried to access my RAID through that. And I was able to get onto it, and I don't store anything sensitive. I don't capture onto my SSDs. I don't do any of that stuff on something that has a higher risk of losing data. So all of my captured stuff is always on my 3 terabytes, which both of them are, well, one of them, there's only like 100 gigs left on it, and that's mainly because there's like 2.5 terabytes of Skyrim Insider footage, which I'm finally getting around to editing. I'm so happy about that. And since we have the second PC made, which I believe the last episode, the second PC was still just sort of a like in the concept phase, but everything came through. I am now officially sponsored by Corsair, and they sponsored the streaming build, so it has a Corsair case, Corsair cooling, Corsair SSD, Corsair RAM, Corsair power supply. What else is Corsair in there? Nothing else? I don't know. But I'll put a link to the album of the pictures down below if you guys frequent Reddit or the Linus Tech forums and you're a computer enthusiast. You've probably already seen my pictures because I did post them there. And it's been getting... Whoop, drop that. Really good response, like way better than I thought it was. And it's not even done because there is a couple of things that I would like to change to make it look a little bit better. And, mainly because the power supply is yellow, the SSD is green, and it's supposed to be a Twitch.tv themed build, so I want it white, black, and purple. So it's very, very nice. It's a very tiny computer. It's super low power and super quiet. You can't hear it at all. In fact, there's a lot of times where I just turn off my gaming computer and just browse and do things on the second PC because, like I said, it takes up less power. It's less heat that goes out. It's super, super duper quiet. And we've had a couple of test streams so far with it, with decent results. I'm still learning like how to deal with having a 2 PC setup, and you're not acting the way I want you to. There you go. Because it's way different than what you would think. Just dealing with one computer, you only have to deal with one audio output, one audio input, and it's just kind of easy. But now that there's 2, I have to bring in 2 sets of audio because basically, I've tried to explain this numerous times on Twitter, trying to get help from audio professionals and stuff like that. I have two outputs, right? I got my gaming computer and my streaming PC. I want to be able to play music on my streaming PC and play the games on my gaming PC. That way I can separate the game audio and the music audio, and then control those volumes via the mixer that I got. It's a very tiny mixer. It's just I think it's a 5-channel mixer with two dedicated channels or whatever. I don't really know how you go about saying the specs of a mixer, but that's what I see it as. Like there's 1 and 2, but then 3 and 4 are on the same channel, and I guess it's 6 because 5 and 6 are on, yeah, the same channel. But anyways, yeah, that's all set up, and that took ages to figure out. God, everything that I'm doing recently has been taking ages to do, and by ages I mean like it takes the better portion of a week, and that's each project. You know, first there was all the Nvidia stuff, which we finished up early last month. At least for now. I'll be back there in 2 weeks for a different event, which if you guys haven't yet, it's called Game24, I believe, is what they're calling it right now. And that I'll be participating in that event. I can't say in what form right now because of, well, they just tell me I can't say that. So I will be back there on the 18th for a Game24 event. And I'm clearing out an area, guys, here because we're going to be building here, if you're wondering. I'm just going to keep rambling because I want to catch you guys up, because apparently my YouTube audience and like my streaming audience, they're not full of the same people. You know, there's a lot of people that can only watch YouTube videos because either they're on the other side of the planet, or they're working and they can't catch the streams, or like their internet can't support a stream but it can do YouTube just fine, because the YouTube servers over there are more powerful than the Twitch ones that they're pulling from. But anyway, so yeah, I understand that, but where was I sitting? Okay, the Nvidia thing. Okay, did that. Talked about that. I'm gonna be back there fairly soon. And that, guys, this is sort of a big thing for me, the Nvidia thing. That's why I'm talking about it so much, and I'm very excited about that, because it's a good opportunity to meet people, make connections, and network. Because although I'm probably never going to give up the whole YouTube thing, because I really do like producing content and entertaining people, and it's changed my life absolutely for the better the last couple of years I've been doing this. But I don't get like healthcare and stuff from YouTube. I can pay for it, but I think I missed my window for doing that this year. And when you turn 26, you can no longer rely on your parents' healthcare, and you're required to have healthcare, I guess, in the United States, but they don't offer it nationwide. So, you know, hooray, America! And but yeah, like I'm constantly thinking about the future and being able to sustain myself. You know, health-wise and family-wise and just living. So that's why YouTube has sort of taken the path of it's been pushed on the back burner of my priorities right now, because I need to do things that are paying bills, that may offer better, more consistent and solid what's the words I'm looking for, guys? Come on, just tell me what I'm trying to fish for. I'm sure you guys understand. But anyways, my channel isn't nearly big enough to support all of that stuff, and so until either that happens, or I guess that's really the only other option, honestly. Either that, or I guess Twitch really takes off. Either one. This stuff is sort of taking I'm taking a sidestep from it to try to work towards bettering myself and my future. So, yeah, yeah, that's honestly just how it is. Like my channel, even though I've been side by side with all of these people that have grown up next to me, such as Brenny being, you know, a big one too. He's still doing great, and I love his content. If you guys aren't watching his hardcore series, what's wrong with you? First off, if you're not watching our Windcraft series, again, what's wrong with you? And if you're not watching either one of those, do you only watch my hardcore episodes? Because that's the only way you're going to be able to hear this. I need more dirt. Let's go back upstairs and see if we have more dirt. But, yeah, Brenny, Jevin, even, like, when I met iJevin, he had 3,000 or 4,000 subscribers, something like that. And then he just gets back into it, and now I think he's closing up on 300, somewhere around there, you know, like, there's stuff like that, or like Sly, and Sly's really the only creature that I've ever met and talked to. I'm pretty sure Sly's doing pretty well for himself too. I don't really keep up to date on how many subs they have, but I'm sure if he's not, you know, he's probably pretty close to closing up on 1 million. It's just one of those things where, like, I see all these other people around who just took off, and we're able to dedicate more time and hours into doing all this stuff, and then I'm over here doing placing dirt in an amplified world and talking to you guys, which I'm very grateful for, because it's very hard to get into this this sort of thing now, because there is so many people doing it. And that's honestly like the thing that I get asked most for, is like what tips and hints can give for someone who's trying to start off doing this stuff, like a new LP or something. And I don't really have any sort of advice for you guys. I mean, I came into this pretty early. I hit a really cool stride with the Hogwarts thing, and that really boosted my popularity a bit. And I got annoyed with being called Hogwarts. I didn't want to become the Hogwarts guy, because I didn't want people to see my channel and be like, oh, that's the dude that only puts out Harry Potter content. No, that's not me. I'm a beautiful butterfly, and I need to spread my wings into other content. And that's why I stopped doing that for a long time, fell out of it, and then it got to the point where other people built Hogwarts and newer versions of Minecraft with more available blocks, and were just more talented than I was, honestly, with building, you know? I don't know why people still contact me about Hogwarts. I don't know if it's just because I still have a fairly popular video from way back when it was just cobblestone. All we had was cobblestone, guys. We just had cobblestone in the beginning. And that was 4 years ago, almost, somewhere around there. And I don't even make money off of those videos anymore because of YouTube's content ID thing. It took like the first 6 of my Hogwarts videos away from me, so I don't even make ad revenue off of those anymore, which I am just so depressed about. But what are you gonna do, you know, when Big Bad Google, I can't say Big Bad Google, they're amazing. They do a lot of stuff that's innovating. They just had one flub with content ID, and then, you know, a bunch of videos get taken away. But anyways, yeah, they what are you gonna do when they come by and they're trying to appeal to, you know, companies like Viacom and all of these other companies to catch copyright claims and stuff like that. And they've since fixed the content ID thing. It's not nearly as awful as it used to be. Mainly because it's not like super automated anymore. Because you could go to anybody's video and claim a flag on it, and it takes the revenue away from them until it gets resolved. And that's just not the right way to handle it. So, I don't know. I'm sure they're fixing it. I need to fill up this hole. I'm tired of this being here. Yeah, no, guys, I'm clearing out the way because I'm going to expand the animal farms and vegetable farms and stuff. We need better food, more food, and then store it away and then never eat it, basically. So I'm gonna expand all of this to bring in more buildings around here. That's why these crossroads are here, and eventually we'll have like a little monorail or something so we can get around easier. But yeah, all of that stuff's happening. For those who actually are interested in Hogwarts news, it is updated to 1.75 right now. I have gotten a little bit of work on it, but I haven't really recorded it because it's all been like maybe an hour work of here, an hour work there. But back in the day, and I feel like I've told this story like 6 times in like the last week. Back in the day, I was able to dedicate 16 to 20 hours a day working on Hogwarts because I got laid off from my job at the time. I didn't have a girlfriend. I didn't have a life. So I was just sitting around not doing anything, and Minecraft gave me a purpose back then. Or building Hogwarts gave me a purpose back when. But now I have a lot of those things, and I don't want to let them pass by without making an effort towards making them better. And that includes every aspect from, you know, I want to make my life better. I want to make my my life better with Leanne, my future and stuff like that. You know, you hit a point in life where you move away from like you know, like it becoming more mature, I guess, is actually the quickest and easiest way to sum it up. When I was younger, you know, I had much different priorities, but now that I'm passing into the second half of my 20s, I'm 26 now, you start thinking about all of that stuff, like what happens if I break an arm, or what happens when I break a toe or something, and then I have to go get all that done, get that fixed, or hopefully not just deal with it, you know. Or what if I get sick, you know, and I get stuck with like $12,000 of hospital bills because I don't have insurance, or I don't have a steady job, because this is still a very erratic job for me. Like my paychecks, I still can't rely on a specific number, but with a typical job, you could be like, okay, so I worked 40 hours each week this month. So what does 160 hours get me at the end of the month? And you can kind of work out, you know, an idea of what you'll get paid with. And the only thing that I have that's reliable right now is Twitch subscriptions, because I can see the number. I can see how many people I have that are currently subscribed to me. So I know for that month I will at least get that much. Even ad revenue is kind of like... Like, they give you the number, but it's never that number. I don't think I've ever seen the ad revenue either on YouTube or Twitch where it's like $50, and you're like, oh, sweet, I can expect $50 coming in. And then you don't get that 50. You get nothing. Or you don't get nothing. You get, yeah, well, I guess it's technically nothing in relative speaking. It's like you get like $16.24. Because the quote-unquote final numbers came in, or like this company gets this much, or that company gets this much, or, you know, taxes here and taxes there, which we don't actually get taxes pulled out of our stuff, which is something that you have to do by yourself, solo, which is something I've never been able to do easily. I'm sure it would be easy if I kept track of absolutely everything. I guess that's not really the easy part. Or easy to keep track of literally everything that you spend, make, and do whatever, you know, saving receipts and stuff. You could save receipts easy enough, but you can't compile that data in, you know, unless you take time every single day. At the end of your day, it's like, okay, well, now I gotta enter in the 2 tacos that I bought earlier, and all of that stuff. And so yeah, I mean, there has been some really crazy months for me that have been very, like, promising towards a better, or to keep going with this. Like, for people that have been part of my streams and stuff, you guys probably remember Medium Styles. And Medium, if you're watching this, if you ever came back from vacation, man, you know, I'm glad you're alive, first off, because we haven't heard from you since, but anyways, a very generous guy came into the stream and donated like, I think like $1,500 or something. And while he was on vacation in Singapore, I think he was in vacation in Singapore or whatever. But he was pretty active in the chat up until then, you know, like he was always there hanging out, having fun. And then he came in, and he was like, yep, I'm on vacation in Singapore right now with my girlfriend or whatever. And she's still sleeping, so he decided to pop into the stream. He donated a bunch, and I'm like, that's awesome. You know, if I could get that much per month, that would be a much different story type of deal where, like, I can have a savings and do all of that stuff, pay bills, whatever. I don't mean to go too deep into all this because I'm sure it's not that entertaining to listen to, and it's not necessarily like super happy fun time news either. But yeah, but then Medium Styles like took off, and we haven't seen him since, and I'm actually legitimately worried about him because he came in, made a huge impression on everybody, and then took off and to never return. I don't know if like he's just like crazy busy, you know, working, or I don't know, maybe his job and you know means that he gets like I think it's with like oil workers and stuff. You guys have to like go on the oil rig for like 3 months, right? But then you get like a month off from work, so you make like a ton of money and you work and bust your ass off that entire time, and then you come home for like a month vacation, and then you go back. It could be something like that, or like he's in the reserves or something. I don't know. But anyways, Medium, if you're watching this, we miss you. Glad you're okay because you're watching this, you know, and you're not dead. That would be awful. But anyways, guys, I'm going to go for this episode because we're closing up on like a half hour, and I want to make sure that this gets out to you guys today. So I'm going to get to rendering it, and we'll talk. We'll have more talks after this episode if you guys want. I'm just going to start building this stuff and blab on. For those who also are missing the streams and stuff, I want to mention this before we take off that I will be starting a second channel that just purely is uploading my stream video on demands or whatever, all my streams. I'm going to upload all my streams over to the second channel, unedited, and unless something terrible happens, like my butt gets shown on camera, and then I'll probably put like a censor bar or something up on there, but whatever. Anyways, yeah, and that'll be up sometime soonish because of Twitch's new plan where they get rid of all of our old streams after 3 weeks for partners. I think it's 3 weeks for partners. But anyways, yeah. Follow me on Twitter. All the information or whatever is going to be down below. BrenyBeast Hardcore is going to be down below. The stream pictures or the stream PC is going to be down below. The stream/renderbox, whatever. A bunch of links will be down below. If I don't forget, I shouldn't. I won't forget. I won't. I will remember. Like this episode if you liked it. Dislike it if you didn't. I'm sorry that I disappointed you. Leave a lovely comment for me to come back and read and just fill my heart with warmth and happiness. And I will see you guys for the next one.